the year, so it is time to do an updated 2025 luxury wish list. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Celesta. We talk about all things luxury shopping and handbags. If you love those things, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification. I do post videos every week. So typically I do a full recap at the end of the year or like in the beginning of the new year, reacting to my original wish list and what we ended up getting. We did check off quite a few items already. There's been a couple items that we've removed from the wish list, a couple items we added to the wish list. So I wanted to just run through everything, and I figured this is the perfect timing to do an updated wish list because my birthday is coming up, so maybe we will be blessed with the Hermes gods. So let's just jump right into all of the stuff that we've already checked off the list, and then we'll move into things that I'm removing and what we're adding to the list. Okay, starting with the first item that we are checking off the list is our Louis Vuitton Nano Capucine. I am so glad I finally got this, and I'm so glad that I saved so much money on getting this because, to be honest, I would not be paying full price for this item. I believe this is like $5,900 here in the US before tax. And then my friend found it at the airport in Rome, I believe, and was able to find a significant discount on this. I have a full video on like the discounts, how much we saved compared to even getting it at the airport in duty free versus getting it in the city center. I'll leave that in the description box below if you guys are interested in it. But it has been 4 months with this bag now, and I love it. I feel like I kind of switch back and forth between this one and the Chanel Kelly. And this one's a little bit more kind of for evenings, dinners, things like that. Compared to the Chanel Kelly, I feel like I'll take that one out during the day. And I just have so much fun using this bag. It is so stupidly small and it's heavy, but I do love it. The next item we have checked off the list is the Demelier Midi New York. This is another one of my favorite pieces at the moment. I took this with me to Europe. I use it quite a bit. It does fit a ton as well. So this is kind of nice if I just need to shove my laptop somewhere and just take it. Like, this is not something I would shove my laptop into and like take the train up to the city because it does stick out like a little bit. But in general, I love using this bag. I think it fits all of my needs. It has a lot of cons as well, very similar to the Nano Capucine. It's heavy. You can only wear it as a top handle. It does come with a crossbody strap, but realistically, I'm not wearing it with a crossbody strap. I do love the look of this. I love using this. And honestly, I feel like this was great to use for spring and summer, but I feel like I could use this all year round. The next thing we had on this list was the Louis Vuitton Murakami Cherry Blossom release. I believe when I filmed the video at the time, we knew that the Louis Vuitton Murakami collection was re-releasing in 2025 as I think it's like 25th anniversary. So I knew that they were doing 3 versions of this. I knew they were doing the multicolor, I knew they were doing the cherry blossoms, and I knew they were doing the cherries. I looked at the cherry blossoms and I would have loved to be able to get my hands on something. Unfortunately, things sold out like this. If you didn't spend $100,000 a year at Louis Vuitton, you had like no priority whatsoever, and obviously I don't spend $100,000 at Louis Vuitton. However, I was able to get my hands on the cherry collection. So while this is not the cherry blossom, it is the cherry collection. I think this is so cute. I know a lot of people are kind of complaining about how the cherries look like they're stuck on like stickers, and I know myself, I love to pick off my nails, and I could see myself picking these off, but I do think it is so cute. It's a little bit of a pop of color, and it's not like red. I feel like it's kind of like a cherry red, and I think it's just such a fun piece to add to my collection. I'm glad I didn't get a bag. I know that they had Neverfulls available when I saw it in Cannes. They had a couple bags available, and I'm glad I didn't get a bag because I know that I probably wouldn't use it very much, but this was a really good way for me to be able to get a taste of the collection without having to spend thousands of dollars on it. Do I really need another passport holder? Probably not, but it's fine. I also had a suede bag in my wish list in my collection. I did get 2 suede bags. I got one from Parisa Wang and then I got one from Verified, and it came at kind of a weird timing because, to be honest, I'm not using a suede bag, especially a brown suede bag, in the summer. However, I am so glad that I already have it on hand for fall. I think as soon as like September, October starts rolling around, we are gonna be head to toe in suede, and I'm really excited to start using it. And then the last item that I had on the wish list that I kind of technically checked off, but not really checked off, I really wanted to get a Rowan Laguna Wave set. If you guys aren't familiar with Rowan, Rowan is based out of New York. It's actually my friend's jewelry company, and she has these beautiful designs. And I was thinking of getting like the Laguna Wave on my right hand. I couldn't decide if I want it as a pinky ring or on my fourth finger. And so I ended up not getting it yet, but I did get a new piece of jewelry. It is an oval half eternity band, and I thought this just made for a really good like anniversary gift. I was a little bit nervous about getting the Laguna Wave from Rowan. As much as I love the design and I think it would be a really beautiful piece to add to my collection down the road, I just had a really hard time envisioning what my stack would look like, especially realistically. I'm only wearing like this is my hand, you know what I mean? And so I need to figure out what my stack looks like before I start pulling the trigger on more bold pieces. It's still on the wish list, but we kind of got something to kind of check it off for now. Moving over to things that are still on the wish list, we have the Bottega Bang Bang Vanities or the Loro Piana L19. And I think the more that I thought about it, I think I'm leaning more into the L19, but I think I want to get it in yellow. Maybe I'll also take like a light pink or light blue, but like I'm kind of in this like butter yellow phase and I would love to get it in yellow. Bottega released a yellow version of this bag, and it's just not the yellow that we were looking for. Like, this is giving Big Bird yellow and I want butter yellow. And I think also just sizing wise and everything, I think the L19 just fits me a little bit better. I've tried every Loro Piana store in France and they were like, sorry, we don't have it, or they only had exotics naturally. So I'm still kind of waiting. I'm gonna see like if it comes up. I see the butter yellow on the website, but I don't know if they actually like still produce this color at all. Obviously, we still have the Birkin 25 on our list. I think it's gonna stay on this list, to be honest. I have been I'm like loosely looking. I'm looking at websites, I'm putting some feelers out there, but I do wanna get one in good condition, but I don't wanna pay over $25,000 for it. I've seen it on Fashion Pal for like $27,000, $28,000 for a full set, and I think that is absurd. And I know I can shop with smaller businesses that will be able to get me a better price. And so I'm kind of just waiting it out. We are not going to play any Hermes games. We're not going to go begging in the store for it. I will try like Paris Lottery, obviously, because you don't need to technically beg and grovel. I did beg and grovel a little bit for a leather appointment, but that's besides the point. Obviously didn't work. So we're going to keep waiting. We're going to see when it comes, and I think it's one of those things where like I'm open to it when it comes, but I'm not going to go chasing for it because I need it right now, because again, this is a bag. We're not saving lives, you know? And then the last thing that is staying on the wish list, but again, I don't think this is going to be a 2025 checked off item, is the Cartier Bang Noir watch. I was envisioning this watch for at least 6 to 8 months before I finally tried it on. And you know, sometimes when you're trying things on and you're like, oh yeah, like, this was better in my head. You built it up more in your head, and it's actually like not as exciting as it is once you tried it on. And I'm not gonna lie, when I tried it on, I felt the sparks. There were butterflies in my stomach. I was like, oh, this looks so beautiful. So I do think this is gonna stay on the list, but I think realistically, I'm going to do this as like my 30th birthday gift or some kind of big milestone like that. Again, it's kind of very similar to the Birkin. I'm not like I need this right now. I think it would be nice and I would love to have this eventually in my collection, but I don't want to just out of nowhere buy a $14,000 watch. I want to make sure that there's intention behind it. There's some kind of sentimental meaning as well. And I know it sounds a little superficial to want to tie some sort of like life event with a big purchase, but at the same time I kind of like doing that because then it reminds me of like my hard work or like just certain milestones like that. So that's going to continue to stay on the list. I know prices are going to continue going up, and you know, we're just gonna have to pay the new price, because I think when we do end up getting it at whatever milestone that is, I think it's gonna feel a lot more rewarding. Okay, now we have a couple things that we did remove from the list. The first one is the Pelen Nod Hobo. I ended up getting the Pelen Netty shoulder bag. I think that's what it's called. And I got this in Paris, and I like the Nod. I don't love the Nod. I don't feel like I need it in my collection. So to be honest, she's getting nixed. The Civet Symmetry pouch, again, also probably getting nixed unless it comes in a color or colorway that I'm really feeling. I originally was really feeling like this coral color, and I think about it and it's very similar to the Chanel Kelly. And I think it's just hard to justify getting 2 coral pink bags. As much as I use the Chanel, it's hard to justify getting 2 coral pink bags that are very similar in size and top handle. If they were to come out with a different color, like it has to be a very specific color that I'm like, oh my god, yes, I need it, I would be adding this back to my collection. But they have so many colors and they don't have the color that I want, so it's probably safe to assume we should just nix it from the wish list. The last thing we are removing from the wish list is the Gucci Jackie. To be honest, I'm kind of shocked that I had this on the wish list to begin with, because I like the bag, but I don't love the bag. And it was one of those things where I was hoping that it would come in a specific color that I would be super excited about, and I'd be like, okay, yes, I should get it. And we came very close. We came very close because Gucci has been doing this butter yellow and it is stunning. I saw it in the south of France and they did it in, I think it was the horse bit, or I don't remember. It was one of these styles and I was like, does this come in the Gucci Jackie? And he was saying not yet, but based on how popular this color is, he would be surprised if they didn't do one in butter yellow. And it's been like 2 months at this point. Still haven't seen it on the website. And I'm sure if I really wanted to, I could probably go into stores and ask. But I think it's safe to assume, again, I don't want it that badly, that we could probably remove it from the wish list. Since we have removed 3 items from the wish list, naturally we are adding 4 more items to the wish list. Starting with the Hermes Garden Party Neo Garden Party 23. This is kind of a newer style that caught my attention, and it really is because when I went to Orange County last month to work with Reunited Luxury, they had a garden party there at, I don't remember what size, maybe it's like a size 30, and I was like, this is super cute, but imagine if it was smaller. And they have a smaller size, and it's the 23 size. It's a newer size. I don't know what color this comes in. I don't know how hard it is to get. I haven't asked anyone. I haven't gone to the stores, but I would love to see this bag in like a rose sakura, blue broom. Like, I don't know, again, if it comes in these colors. I have no idea how much this actually retails for in stores. I have seen it in black and gold and like a gray color, and then they have like a canvas and black trim one. I've seen some people kind of post about that on social media, but I haven't seen it in other like pastel colors. So I don't even know if it comes in these colors, but I would love to ask, and we're adding it to the wish list. Again, probably not the most realistic because you never know with Hermes. It's like one of those things, it's like, it's a shot in the dark. Like, it's nice to have a wish list, but there's a chance that they might also laugh at you in your face. So we're keeping it on the list, but not very high probability. The next thing I am adding to the wish list is the Chanel DeVille. I think this might be the year that I get rid of my Dior book tote. I just haven't been gravitating towards it. I love the look of it still, but I just like haven't been using it. It's not very practical, and I want to replace that with the Chanel. I think that might actually last in my collection a little bit longer than the book tote, which, to be fair, I am surprised that the book tote lasted in my collection for 4 years now, almost 4 years, so congrats to me. But I just don't think that it's a forever bag in my collection, and I think now, considering I haven't used it in pretty much a year, it might be time for her to go. We're also adding the Chanel Mini to this list, and Chanel is, again, kind of like Hermes, where it's just hard to manifest, because you have to make impulse decisions like this. You know, I do not like to make impulse purchases because I like to make sure that what I'm buying and spending thousands of dollars on is very thought out. It's not impulsive. I can see myself using it, wearing it different ways, you know, whatever. And Chanel is one of those brands where they're constantly coming out with new collections and different bags in each collection, different colors, that you don't know what you're gonna get. I would love to have a Chanel Mini. I love my rectangular flap in a light pink, a beige, or white. They did do a beige this past season for, I think it's like called pre-fall or fall or something like that. I don't know. And the beige has kind of like a green undertone, or it's kind of dark. It's not like, I would prefer like a beige with like a peachy undertone, or like a light pink, or even like an off-white. I feel like that would be a really nice mini to add to my collection. But it's also one of those things where I don't know what they're coming out with. They claim that they don't know what they're coming out with, and so I can't just like pre-order one or be like, I want this one in this color. I have to kind of wait for it to come before I can get it. So again, probably not the most realistic, but who knows. And then the last item we are adding to this wish list is Mikimoto Cherry Blossom earrings. I saw this as an ad, and I fell in love. I tried on the Van Cleef 5 motif in stores a couple weeks ago, and I thought like, okay, maybe the next step is replacing my Sweet Alhambra with the 5 motif. And I like it, but I don't feel like I love it. And then naturally I saw an ad for Mikimoto and I was like, wait, I kind of love this. I love that it's a little bit more understated than Van Cleef, and I think the pearls are beautiful. However, I feel like it is the best financial decision to wait. I checked on the Japan website versus the US website, and I think it's like 30 to 40% difference, especially with the yen right now being lower. It makes more sense to get this in Japan. I'm hoping, we'll see if we can go to Japan at the end of this year. I want to go to Japan and Korea this year. So if that's the case, then it makes the most sense to get it there. And if they don't have it, then we can always buy it here too, you know? So that's kind of the thought process for this piece. And who knows, by the time I get to Japan, maybe I don't even want these anymore. So that sums it up for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's been really nice to be able to check off a couple items from this wish list, add a couple things, remove a couple things, and just do a little pulse check on where we're at with 2025. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll leave another video for you guys here, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!